What's up, fellow anglers, and good morning. Well, we're actually back out on Lake Natoma. This is part 2 of the topwater series on Lake Natoma. I actually was gonna go out to Folsom. I haven't looked at the water levels or seen them for a couple months. And I drove all the way out to Salmon Falls because I wanted to fish where the American River comes in right there, because those steep walls. There's usually some good topwater action there in the summer, but the water's way too low, and both the launch ramps over there, Skunk Hollow, are closed. So I had to rush back over here to Lake Natoma, try to get some filming in this morning. So I'm about 30 minutes late getting out here on the water, so I'm paddling pretty hard to get to the spot, which is launched out down here at the aquatic center, and we're going straight across to where I caught those spawning fish. If you didn't see my bed fishing video out here on Lake Natoma, I'll put a card up real quick, but we're going straight across. They spawned all along this bank over here. We'll fish this morning and see what happens. I'd like to try to get back into the backwaters where I was working on some bedfish back there, some big ones. I don't know if I can get back there though. The water level's pretty low. Could barely get back there when the water level was high. So we'll see. I got the same baits as before. We're gonna throw the Demiki Rambler 120 first thing this morning, all on this bank, to see if we can't get some bites. I know there's a weed bed that runs parallel to this bank right over here. It's got some rocks, and this is, like I said, where they spawned. So it's a little bit cool this morning. I had to put on a sweatshirt. We've got some haze. So the good news is, even though I'm about 30 minutes late, we got still some good top water conditions. That's what I'm trying to say as I'm paddling really fast. Good top water conditions out here. There's hardly any wind, and the sun's still not peeking through the haze. So it might give us a little extra time, even though I'm late. So I'm almost over here. Let's go fishing and see what we can put together this morning. All right, let's go. That's better. Nice long cast right there. Oh, it's a big carp. Got one right there on the pause. Yes, I just saw a big carp go by too. And then this guy, after past the carp, oh, he's pulling me out in the middle. It's a nice one. It's a nice one. Not big, not really big, but we're right on this bank. Oh yeah, it's a couple pounder. And he didn't hit that very hard. He just came up and slurped it. Slurped her down. Yeah, look at this. Woo! Bingo. First fish of the morning. That's how you do it. 1 pounder, 1.5. Nice. So same thing as we were doing before. I'm just walking this thing right along. I'm paralleling the bank. There's this big weed bed through here. I've caught these fish before in the past over here. I know they spawn over here. The water's really warm, even though it's cooler out this morning. Look at that guy. Yeah. Even though it's cooler this morning, the water's still the same temperature. It's pretty warm. And same bait right here. The Demiki Rambler 120. And you know what I did last night? I noticed my line was getting, I replaced the braid on this, and I don't replace the whole spool because that's just wasteful, and this stuff is very expensive. I put backing on here. It's still braid, but If you listen to the other video, you're gonna hear a knot going through my guides when I'm casting. And so what happens is, as I fish and fish and fish, I'm cutting off leaders, and I'm going through my braid that's on here. So eventually it gets down to where I've put the two pieces of new braid and old braid together with a double uni knot. And I heard it going through the guides, which meant, okay, I need to go and re-spool this line. I peeled off a bunch down to the backing, put a bunch of brand new 20-pound Power Pro on this. Now it's all smooth, got a brand new leader, so got everything all set up and ready to go for today's outing. So that's a little tip, is you don't have to re-spool this all the way down to get new braid. I've got the new braids way underneath here as well. It's never seen the sun. I've got this other braid on top, and it saves you a little bit of money. And I like using braid because braid lasts a lot longer than fluorocarbon. I've got a leader on there, so it's not as limp. We'll talk about the leader next. Let me keep fishing. I want to talk to you about why I put a mono leader on here versus just a straight braid. Whew, I had a lot of coffee this morning, so I'm talking really fast. Let me slow it down. Okay, that was exciting. Let's catch some more fish. Got one. There we go. I thought I could get one right over here. It's kind of the deeper part. Okay, so it's just a little guy though. I'm back here in these backwaters, just checking it out. I didn't get another bite at all on that stretch after that first one this morning. Man, it looks so good. There's so many weed beds over there, but just no fish over there active. I just caught a little 1-pounder back here. I wanted to just check out these backwaters. There are some big ones back here. You know, you really need a frog though, because there's a lot of weeds back here and the water's low. I just caught that little 10-12 incher on the popper. I don't have a frog, and you really kind of need one back here. And I would expect you might only get one good bite back here. When I came back here during the spawn, I did put my eyes on a couple 5-pounders, but there weren't very many. It's mainly a bunch of small fish back here. So I'm gonna fish back here, kind of the couple deeper spots, and see if I can't pick up one. We just picked up that little guy right there. And then I'm gonna go straight across to another spot that gonna have to check out. But let me see if I can catch at least another one back here, something bigger than 12 inches. All right, let's keep going. Gosh, that was a giant. That was a giant. Oh my gosh, he still got it. He got it. He came back and got it. Oh my gosh, that's a big one. That is a big one. He's pulling drag. Holy smokes. Stay on. I paused it, and then he came back for it. He wanted that thing so bad. He's underneath me. Stay out of the weeds. This one's pulling drag. Oh. Okay, this isn't like a 3-pounder like I had the other day where I thought it was a 3-pounder. Stay on. He came back and got it. There he is. Oh my gosh, he's barely hooked. Stay on. Oh mama, you! Bingo! Look at this one. Twice, came back to eat it again. He wanted it so bad. Bam! Yeah! That is a giant. All right, let's get a weight on this bad boy. Oh my God, it's a giant, absolute giant. 564. Yes! Look at that pig! Woo! Yeah! Dang, that was awesome. What a great looking fish. Look at that bad boy. 5.5-pounder on this stick bait, smashed it. Woo! There she goes, there she goes. Okay, let's talk here for a second, because I'm still pumped up about that one. I got out of the backwaters over there because the water's just too skinny. It's all a bunch of little fish. You could probably catch them on a frog, but you're gonna catch little ones mainly. Then I went straight across over there by the freeway, that big hole that I see people fishing over there all the time. I know there's big ones there. It's the first fish I've ever caught on Lake Natoma on a drop shot. I shot a video over there. I'll put the card up here. So I said, you know what? I can't leave today because I've only had 2 fish without hitting the honey hole, which is the stretch we've been fishing this whole time. And tell you what, I'm almost to the end of it and I was about ready to give up. I don't even know what time it is. Let me see what time it is. And let's get ready to give up. I broke off, I casted, broke off my bait. It's 10:30. And I thought the topwater deal was gonna be only a morning deal. I thought, oh man, these fish do not bite in the morning. So I said, well, I'm gonna go all the way down the stretch and then I'm gonna bail. I'm almost to the end. A fish came up and missed it. I knew it was big. I stopped it for a second. Then I started again, came back and got it again. It was awesome. On the Demiki Rambler, again, on the same bait, just doing that same retrieve. So I might fish over here for maybe another, I might fish for another 30 minutes now, just because I caught that giant. And then I'll start heading back to the truck to see if I can't get one more over here. That was so awesome. Yes. Yeah. All right. Let's see if we can get another one. That was a giant. All right, fellow anglers. That's a wrap for today. We're out here from about 7 to 10:30. I'm running out of GoPro batteries and we're ending the video on that freaking awesome 5-pounder. I'm heading back in. So the takeaway on that was I went on that entire stretch. I never gave up on that bait. I know that they're eating it there. I figured out that they wanted it a specific way, which was a couple twitches and a pause, and they're in those weeds. And I just stuck with it. I went that entire stretch. I got a really good drift today from the wind. I would paddle out outside the weed edge and let the wind just drift me in. Had some really great drifts going in there. So I want to hit one more spot on this lake. Let's get out and launch at a Negro bar where I caught that 6-pounder on a bed earlier in the year. There's a bunch of bass over there. Let's go see what's going on with the weed beds up there. Maybe give you all at least one more area on the north end of this lake. Then you can get out there and catch some topwater fish. So, all in all, that's a pretty good day. I was getting a little discouraged with those 2 bites earlier, and then we backed it up with a giant. So that was awesome. Ended up being a really, really good day. Perfect weather today. Not too hot. Got a little bit of a breeze. But anyway, all right. Let's do it again tomorrow. See you then. Hey, good morning, fellow anglers. Here we are, last day that I'm going to be fishing out here at Lake Natoma doing topwater. Doesn't mean I won't come back out here and do some other videos. This is the topwater only segment. I've got my 2 baits on the deck and we're up on the north. Hey, one thing to note that I just noticed today too when coming up here to launch your boat or whatever to get in the water, kayak, paddleboard, they changed at the parking lot at the very bottom there. You used to be able to park there. Now it's a loading zone only, which is actually kind of nice because it kind of gets to be a cluster over there when it gets real busy. So now you have to park on the very top and walk down after you've launched whatever you're getting on the water with. So we're going to start up here at the north. There's this big point over here that I'll show you on the map where I caught those fish during the spawn. So I know there's some big ones back there because I caught a 6-pounder back there. We're gonna fish around this point. The water's down and these backwaters, the bass do not have access to them anymore. So what it's gonna do is gonna push them out on this point and any cover on it, because that's the only place that they can go and feed and get comfortable. And then there's a big rocky area directly across the way that I know some spotted bass live. I caught a spotted bass there in a previous video a couple years ago. So I know they like to get in that big chunky rock. And we'll throw some top water there over there also. Let's see if we can catch some up here on the north to give you some areas that you can fish at up here as well. So let's get to fishing. Let's see if we can put a couple fish in the boat and see what we can do today. Whew, that's a big one. That was a big one. My first bite of the morning. Dang it. There he is. Got him. I got him. I got him. He came back for it. Yes. Oh, shoot. Dang it. Okay. That was the first bite of the morning, and I just lost it. So here's what happened. I fished that entire point over there. Saw one bass, never got a bite, so I decided to come over here to this rocky side. Was fishing the rocky side. No weeds for like 1,000 yards at least. I said, you know what? I gotta find a flat that's got weeds. So I knew this flat up here existed. As soon as I got here, I got that bite. That was like a 3-pounder. Lots of hydrilla. This big flat is right across through here. I'll put it up on the map. And we just had a nice one right there. So let's see if I can get another one, because this flat goes for a long way. So it's just still sticking with the stick bait. Same thing. And we're on the north side, like I said. First bite, dang it, that was a good one. Came back for it twice too, or hit it the first time, came back a second time. All right, let's keep fishing to see if I can actually get one up here on the paddle board. There's one, finally. Stay on there. It's a pretty decent one too. Oh my gosh, I've been going. It's just been at least an hour and a half. I went all the way down to the island behind me. And my gosh, I haven't been getting bit. The other problem too is I'm going the wrong direction with the wind. I had a really tough time with the boat. It's not that big, but it's fine. I've got a bite again. Boat positioning was really tough, and casting was so annoying because the boat just kept moving on me. So now I've got a perfect drift with the wind. Don't come off, don't come off. Yeah, woo! Finally got a good one. Oh, he's hooked right on the top lip. That's perfect. Yeah, so I'm way over here by this island, just fishing these grass beds. I haven't given up. Man, I might have to get the pliers out on this one. On these, oh wait, I think I almost got it. There we go. Nice one right there. Put him back in the water. Little 1.5, probably closer to 2. Woo, feisty. Yeah, so I'm basically just fishing all along. There's so many good weed beds over here. But like I said, I wasn't getting bit. And part of it was definitely the wind was having an effect on me. And let's back up a little bit. This is a good section. The water's super clear over here. I'm fishing in like 8 to 10 feet of water, big hydrilla weed beds. I finally got one. Right by the island over here is where I'm at. And I've just been grinding, knowing I'm gonna get a bite at some point. I'm just looking for 1 or 2. And I finally got one. That was cool. So yesterday I told you I was gonna tell you why I have a mono leader on this bait. It's not because I think the fish are line shy. It's because braid's just way too limp. And when you're casting that thing or walking it, it tends to foul up that front hook a lot. I'm still actually still getting fouled up on this on 12 pound. I should actually go to 15 pounds, something a little stiffer, because it's still getting fouled up on that front hook, and it's a little bit frustrating. You make a perfect cast, nice long perfect one, and then your bait's not walking. So I would recommend 15, not 12. 12 still too limp. That's your pro tip for the day. And I'm gonna keep going. The wind's drifting me. I've got a great drift going. The wind's going the right direction. And I think I can get at least one more. I'm hoping. All right, let's see what I can do. All right, fellow anglers, that's a wrap out here throwing the topwater action. I just had those 2 bites up here on this northern side, and don't expect the bites to come easy. You got to spend a lot of time, be consistent with the bait, be patient, cover a lot of water. Let's go over a couple of the keys to success out here. Number 1, you got to fish the weeds. And it doesn't matter, I got that last fish kind of on a parallel weed stretch, and also that fish way down by the aquatic center was the same thing. So I have caught them on steeper banks and on flats, although the most bites have come in that one section over there with the big giant flat. And so that's the other key. Another key is, if you're out here on a kayak or even if in a boat, get yourself in a position with the wind and the current that you can drift through, and you have a controlled drift, because you'll be able to make more casts and cover a lot of water, and then go back and start your drift again to that same area. The other key is on that stick bait is your cadence. Pay attention to what the fish are wanting, and in this case they were eating it on the pause. So getting out there, walking it a few times, and then pausing it. Time of day wasn't an issue, because I was catching fish. Man, I caught that big one yesterday at 11 o'clock ish, or 10:30, right? So another key was depth. I was catching all those fish anywhere from about 4 to 10 feet. That was kind of the range that they were coming up from. I wasn't catching them out really deep, and I wasn't catching them real shallow either, even though I did see some fish up shallow. These fish were just coming up kind of from the deeper area and ambushing that bait. One more key. If a fish misses your bait, don't reel it back in. Pause it for a second and just keep walking it. The fish I lost today and the big one yesterday, they both missed it on the first one. I stopped, paused it for a second, kept my cadence going again, and both of them came back to get it again. So when these fish are locked on, they get such tunnel vision that they'll stay locked onto your bait. So don't pull it out of the water, don't recast. Just make sure you keep it in the water, stop it for a second, and then start that retrieve back up again, and see if you can't get those fish to come back and get on your bait. So I hope you learned something from the video, got some entertainment as well out here. We've covered a lot of things, and some previous videos I've covered a lot. Spawning, now we've done topwater. I did some summer stuff a couple years ago. And we'll leave in the comments if you want to see something else out here, or you got a lake that is conducive to paddle boarding. Let me know in the comments, and you want to see something on that lake, then I'll put it on my list, because I've got all that extra time right now. So anyways, I'm Aaron LeSueur. This is the truth. Stay focused, fish hard, and I'll see you out on the water. Get out of here, bird.